Let us salute the martyrs for the sacrifices they made and thank them for giving us our freedom. So today we are observing 74th Independence Day. So happy Independence Day everyone. I welcome you on to this new video of daily current affairs. So today we'll discuss important current affairs for the day 15th of August 2020. So let us get started with the session of the day. The first question for the day is, consider the following statements about offshore patrol vessels OPV Indian Coast Guard, which was in news recently. First statement is OPV of the Indian Coast Guard was launched and rechristened as Indian Coast Guard ship Sarthak. Second statement is OPV Sarthak is the second in series of 5 OPVs. It has been designed and built indigenously by MS Goa Shipyard Limited and it has 70% indigenous content. Third statement is this carries a twin engine fighter jet, 4 high speed boats, and 1 inflatable boat mainly deployed for EEZ surveillance, coastal security, and other duties. The fourth statement is this is 105-meter long and weighs approximately 2350 tons and is propelled by two 9100 kilowatt diesel engines. Maximum speed is 26 knots and endurance is 6000 nautical miles. So the question is, which of the above statement is false? So you can pause the video here and you can reread the statements listed here. Alright, the answer to this question is option B, 2 and 3 only. So the second and third statement is false here because OPV Sarthak is not the second in series of 5 OPVs, rather it is fourth in the series, and this carries a twin engine helicopter and not a fighter jet. So let me give you brief details about Indian Coast Guard. So it is an force, armed forces of India, search and rescue and maritime law enforcement agency that protects India's maritime interest and enforces its maritime law. So it was formally established on 18th of August and in the year 1978 by Coast Guard Act 1978 by Parliament of India. Okay, so the motto of this Indian Coast Guard is Vayam Rakshama, which means we protect. Okay, so Director General of the Indian Coast Guard is Krishna Swamy Natarajan. Alright, moving on to the second question. Which country based Indian launched world's first blockchain based exchange christened as Bond Blow X Bond Exchange BBX? Okay, so the answer to this question is option B, Singapore. So Singapore based fintech Bond eValue founded by Indian launched the world's first blockchain based exchange christened as Bond Blow X Bond Exchange BBX, and it makes possible fractional ownership of bonds by allowing them to be traded in smaller denomination of approximately, you can say, US dollars 1000. Alright, so let me tell you what is basically a blockchain is. So blockchain is a decentralized ledger of all transactions across a peer-to-peer network, which is also called P2P, and using this technology, participants can confirm transaction without the need of a central certifying authority. So let me tell you how this works. So suppose someone requests a transaction, okay? The requested transaction is broadcast to a P2P network, which is also called peer-to-peer network, consisting of computer known as nodes. Okay, so the second statement is that the request goes to some collection of computers known as nodes. Then the network of nodes, which is at second, validates the transaction and the user status using known algorithms. Okay, so algorithms are set of instructions fitted in a computer, and this verified transaction can involve cryptocurrency, which is also called Bitcoin, contracts, records, or other information. So once verified, the transaction is combined with other transactions to create a new block of data for the ledger. Okay, the third step is the transaction is combined with other transactions to create a new block of data for the ledger. Now The new block is then added to the existing blockchain in a way that it is permanent and unalterable. So it involves four steps: incomplete, and finally the transaction is complete. Okay. Third question is, recently Central Board of Reserve Bank of India approved how much amount as dividend to the central government for the accounting year 2019 to 20. So the answer to this question is option B, option A, 57,128 crore Indian rupees. So let me tell you what is a dividend. So a dividend is a share of profits and retained earnings that a company pays out to its shareholders. In this case it is Reserve Bank of India. So when a company generates a profit and accumulates retained earnings, those earnings can be either reinvested in the business or paid out to shareholders as dividend. So here they have approved the transfer of rupees 57,128 crore Indian rupees, and the RBI has maintained the contingency risk buffer at 5.5%. And in this meeting, they also discussed the proposal of setting up an innovation hub. RBI was established on 1st of April 1935, and the headquarters lies in Mumbai, and present governor is Mr. Shaktikant Das. Okay, moving on to the fourth question. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari will lay the foundation stone of highway projects worth rupees 3,000 crore in which Indian state? So the answer is option B, Manipur. So these projects are for the construction of 316-kilometer highways, and Nitin Gadkari is Union Minister for Road Transport, Highways and MSMEs, and he will lay the foundation stone for 13 highway projects, and will inaugurate a road safety project also in Manipur, and this will be a virtual ceremony though. Okay, moving on to the fifth question. Recently, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh launched the Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization NIIO. So it is a dash tiered organization. So the answer is option B, three tiered. So NIIO puts in place dedicated structures for the end users to interact with academia and industry towards fostering innovation and indigenization for self-reliance in defense. So the draft Defense Acquisition Policy, which is also known as DAP 20, rolled out by the Defense Ministry last month, emphasized establishment of Innovation and Indigenization Organization by the Service Headquarters NIIO. So it is a three-tiered organization. The first one is Naval Technology Acceleration Council, which is called NTAC. The second tier you can say is a workshop group under NTAC, and the third and the last one is a Technology Development Acceleration Council, which is called TDAC. Okay, so a compendium of Indian Navy's indigenization perspective plans titled Swavilamban was also released on this occasion. Alright, moving on to the sixth question. Recently, which country became the third country to open relations with Israel after Egypt and Jordan? So the answer is option A, United Arab Emirates. So UAE and Israel plan to exchange embassies and ambassadors and begin cooperation on a broad range of areas, including tourism, education, healthcare, trade, and security. Under the agreement, Israel would suspend its plans to annex parts of the West Bank. Okay, alright, moving on to the seventh question. Consider the following statements about Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau AAIB. First statement is earlier DGCA used to conduct investigation on aircraft crashes, but a separate investigative agency was established with standards and recommended practices SARPs of the International Civil Aviation Organization ICAO, which provides setting up of AAIB. The agency was established in May 2011. Second statement is the Aircraft Investigations of Accidents and Incidents Rules 2012 came into effect on 5th of July 2012. The third one is 2020 Air India Express Flight 1344 will be the fifth full-fledged air crash that will be investigated by this agency. It happened recently. And the fourth statement is the investigation of the 2020 Air India Express Flight 1344 crash will be done by a 5-member team headed by Captain S.S. Chahar. So the question is which statement above is incorrect. So you can reread the statements here and you can by pausing the video here. So DG stands for Director uh, sorry Director General of Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Okay, and yeah, so the correct answer for this question lies in the option C, that is 3 only. So 2020 Air India Express Flight 1344 will be the first full-fledged air crash that will be investigated by this agency. Okay, yeah, moving on to the 8th question. Recently, Union Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers reviewed the progress of 3 upcoming projects of Hindustan Urvarak and Rasayan Limited (HURL) at Gorakhpur, Barauni and Sindri, New Delhi. Sindri is in New Delhi, in which year HURL was incorporated. So the correct answer is option C, 2016. So it is a joint venture company by Coal India Limited, NTPC Limited and IOCL as the lead promoters, with Fertilizer Corporation of India Limited and Hindustan Fertilizer Corporation as the other two partners. Okay. Moving on to the 9th question. Recently, ISRO, in collaboration with which of the following research institute, has developed sustainable process to make space brick on lunar surface? The answer is option A, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. So the process enables making load-bearing bricks by using lunar soil, bacteria, and this is guar beans. So this is named as space bricks, and it could be used to assemble structures for habitation on the moon surface in future. Sending bricks from Earth is not viable as it takes around 7.5 lakh rupees to transport 1 pound of construction material. So this is a great achievement by ISRO. And the 10th and the last question is, recently NASA's Planet Hunter TESS has found how many new exoplanets during its 2-year long primary mission? So TESS stands, so the correct answer for this question is option C, 66. So TESS stands for Transition Exoplanet Survey Satellite, and it scanned about 75% of its primary mission that ended on July 4th. So TESS monitors 24 by 96 degree strips of the sky, and it is called sectors. For about a month, using its 4 cameras, and as many as 2100 exoplanets are yet to be confirmed. So what are the exoplanets here? So exoplanets are the planets that orbit a star other than our sun. Alright, so that's all for the session of the day. If you think this video helped you to raise your awareness about important updates and happenings around the world, please leave a like on this video, and if you have any suggestions, do write in the comment section and hit the subscribe button for important updates. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a very good day ahead.